We are on our way home. We get up early today. Ava Lily Bear, what are you doing? Ava Lily and I got up early today to go to the racetrack, go to the farm.
Two caterpillars and I put
Ava.
in a box.
Yeah, I know. We got caterpillars in the box now. Pet caterpillars. I'll tell you how that story ends. Anyway, we get up and went to the barn early this morning to go with the babies. You didn't watch any of the babies go.
Yeah, I did one I did it when only cloud cover.
Oh, the gray horse. It's not
No,
Cloud.
cloud cover was.
We don't have a horse named Cloud Cover.
Yeah, I do.
No.
It's gray horse.
That's which one? The one that had the hobbles on, or the one that didn't have the hobbles on?
The one with the red
The red halter.
Yeah.
So he's gray. He's not roan. There's one that's like a darker gray, and there's one that's a bright gray. Which one?
Bright gray.
Yeah, hers name's First Glance.
No, with the dot. It's cloud.
There was a horse
cover.
named Cloud Cover when I was a kid. Anyway, we went to the barn today. We got there early and it was raining. So Curtis had a ball game and he said, what if I go to my ball game and we come back and go with them? Which was good. We had a bunch slated to go, 28. There was a couple of temperatures and a couple really just going to go out and run and gallop. They hadn't gated to the hobbles. You had a couple of trotters. One filly, Rose Run Why Not, was supposed to go. She had a little bit of a temperature also. Nothing serious. And Rose Run Why Not still had a third line on. She was acting up this week. So ultimately we decided to go with, I think, 20 or 21. And what a good day. I mean, for, I know some people said there's no sound. There'll be sound on the replays. It was kind of thrown together haphazardly at the last second. The set wasn't itself. I had mentioned this from a couple of weeks back, but the idea to drone after it rained was nip and tuck, right? Because you have to understand, from a trainer standpoint, the biggest problem I have, that mud, the horses haven't been out in the mud before, and that mud starts hitting the aprons, and it makes a lot of noise sometimes, can really scare the horses, and some people could get hurt, especially when we have 5 very green, very young horses out there at once. Throwing mud into the mix sometimes can be problematic. So we decided to go with them. James came down, Danny came out. Danny isn't back yet. Usually Danny takes the summer off, and then after the sales, Danny starts full-time for us again, for exactly what we need him for. And Danny isn't back yet, so I said, geez, would you mind coming out Saturday? He did. He didn't know any of the horses today. Todd was there. Disco had some horses he went with. And Mario came out also. So all in all, it was a pretty good day. I know a couple of people had said there was no sound. There'll be sound on the replays. We'll have it all started up for you guys when we start actually droning, not just kind of droning. So it was good for a lot of people to see their horses today. Now, we put Mario in his suit. I wore my driving suit. James wore my training suit. Danny had a black training suit on, so it really wasn't that hard, I think, to distinguish once you knew what was going on. And Kelly said, well, just put the back pads on them. So now you want to add mud and a back pad rattling around on their back. That would have been pandemonium. So no, we didn't go with the back pads. Anyway, it was a good day. Got to see the horses go, especially coming off last night. I mean, it wasn't like last night was horrible. I thought Capistrano obviously would make the final. I thought they'd all make the final, and Capistrano didn't. Ended up 7th, paced 54 and won last quarter 28. Really got stalled out in the last turn. Need your opinion. Didn't go as long on the front as we thought. James had put up pretty good fractions with her. She got beat, paced 54 in a bit, and Wiggle Delight, 54 and 3, charging on the end of it. She finished 6th or 7th, I guess. 54 and 3, 27 and 3 on the end of it. These horses are still doing what they can. Just didn't do enough last night. And then, of course, the 2 trotters did okay. And during strength scope, sick after. He'll be cleaned up for the final. He's probably ready to trot 57. I don't think anybody wants any part of that horse that won the race that Mike Saftik drives. But these are 2-year-olds, and they do make mistakes, and that's why we race the horses. And Canadian Titan, she just got beat at the wire, 57 and 2, which was faster than the entire second division. Fast enough to be 3rd in hers. I think, as I said to Mario, I think she's better hunting. I think maybe 2nd over next week, and she's a real factor in the final of the filly trot division. So we have a filly trotter in the final and a trotting colt in the final. We didn't get any of our pacing fillies in the final there, but Wiggle Delight and Miss Brampton Beast, who didn't make the semifinals last night, will both race in the Harvest Series coming up in 2 weeks. Their year's not quite done yet. Need Your Opinion and Capistrano, they're both done for 2019. So, what was I going to say? I guess we could race Need Your Opinion in a maiden. She never took a 2-year-old mark. That's kind of important. I'll talk to Kevin about that. Maybe race her in a maiden. She never won a race yet. Anyway, it was a decent night last night. Tonight we have nothing racing. Tomorrow morning's a big day for me. Get up, and Amy and I head to Lexington. We fly to Lexington tomorrow afternoon. We are there for the week. I'm back Sunday evening, next Sunday evening. So, that's pretty much it for a lot of the horses for the stake season. We have the finals next week for Ontario. We have tomorrow afternoon. We have the horses in Ohio. But for the most part, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and now Ontario have completed their stake season. We'll be putting them away for a couple months and bringing them back first week to the second week of December. And I would suspect we'll have somewhere between 150 and 160 horses on site at that time. What else do we have going on? We have tons of emails I'd sent out about horses we're looking at in Lexington. I've received a ton of emails from people telling me, what about this horse? What about this horse? I'll look at all the horses because I don't want to miss anything. A couple of horses in particular I'm looking at, one on day 1 and one on day 2. One is an Ontario bred and one is a New York bred. So those horses I want to take a closer look at as soon as I get to Lexington. That will be Monday morning. Curtis and I will be doing tons of videos for you guys and sending it out. We're going to maybe do a webcast. I have to follow up with Curtis about the webcast on Wednesday. But for the most part, pretty seamless transition, I guess, from the end of the year to the start of the sale season. It's been a real hectic week for me, but that's the job description. So we're going to transition again, as I said, into sale season. I'll be getting up tomorrow. Amy and I are flying, and Addie are flying to Lexington. The other two little rugrats, you and Ollie, are staying back here for school. Yeah, and we'll be gone for an entire week. Behave yourself. Don't be silly. Anyway, that's it. Not much of an opening. I mean, we had a lot going on and a lot of horses to race. We have a lot of horses getting ready to race. But at the same time, I guess the start of the sale season is going to dominate today's video. I might do a video outlining some horses I'm looking at on day. There's just so many good-looking horses in Lexington. Tons of clients have put horses on a list. I probably have 80 to 100 horses on a list right now I want to look at on Monday. We'll probably end up doing 30 or 40 videos for you guys. And again, as always, you'd make my job much easier if people would send in their emails saying, hey, I'm interested in this amount of money or this percentage on a horse at this amount. That always helps me. Gives me a little better barometer when I'm looking at our horses, especially any horses that look like they might bring a considerable amount of money. So that's your opening for today. I hope everybody's not too depressed over last night. I know that we would love to see the horses in the final, but it's not like the finals for $500,000. We only got one stake left, and hopefully that's Globetrotting and the Breeders' Crown. That comes up in 3 weeks. She's going to race probably School Tuesday, race at least once before the Breeders' Crown, and then hopefully have some luck in that with her. Outside of her, our season's concluded. Our fillies, even though they didn't make the final last night, they still made a good account of themselves. All of them paced in 54 with last quarter's 28, 27. All of them have put some money away, and all of them look like they're going to be contenders in the 2020 season. So that's it. That's the opening. A lot going on later on in the videos. I'm going to talk about all the babies so far. I'm going to talk about all the stables, and also importantly, I'm going to talk a little more about the sales, what we have coming up. Anyway, 9 minutes, not much of an opening, but not much on the racing side to talk about. Our racehorses are racing decent, and we are on our way on our way out to Lexington tomorrow morning. Talk to you guys soon.